Hey, hey. Hi, guys. Welcome back. All right. So, this is going to be a collective message. I was putting these out at midnight. Now I'm just like, I'll put them out whenever I can during a day, as long as we get one out per day. These are the ones where I take someone's suggestion each day. So, if there's a topic that you would like to see, feel free to jot that down in the comment section. Basically, go with somebody's suggestion out of the audience every day. That way, it's a true collective message where we're all kind of able to help decide what the topic may be. Today's topic, I'm going to use a duplicate deck for because I believe the person that suggested it is named Sunny PG, and so or Sun PG, excuse me. And the topic was his perspective versus her perspective. Now, of course, I'll broaden that and say it could be him and him, her and her, him, her, him. It doesn't matter, whatever arrangement. Just know that we have two different characters seeing something from their own viewpoints. And so, with that in mind, let's use duplicate decks so that they have kind of the same and equal opportunity for their perspectives to come out. But let's go ahead and get started. Now, I think before we pull any card at all, let's go ahead and first just say, is there anything we can find out about whatever the thing is that they're about to both show us their perspective on? What is the topic? What is this conversation piece or whatever it may be? Put that deck back. Okay, we have got the Nine of Wands, the Chariot, the Death card. So 2 out of 3 are major arcana, so it's big decisions. Two of the cards have dragons, and this is of course Year of the Dragon, so this is kind of like imminent. This is now. It's about action taking. To me, I say that this is probably going to be the question mark of, do we end something in order to have a new beginning, offer the rose again, or is this just a snapshot in time where we'll put that rose in resin, we'll keep those memories of this love like a paperweight, but move on from each other? Or do we move back into an attempt at healing things? This is saying they're at a place, and remember, these are fictional stories. It's just the storyline that we get right now. But they're at a place where both characters seem to have healed quite a lot. Nine of Wands is the energy of a wounded warrior, but the key word there is warrior. They've actually amassed quite a bit of great healed energy, and they're at the point, I think, of it is time to come out of the cave. It's time to move forward. Do we have closure with a handshake, a hug, and a walk away? Or do we have closure of the old ways and a new beginning? That's what this is looking like. Is there an alternate way to see this? Probably 2 million alternate ways to see this. This could also have, just like one other idea here, could be a duo that's on the same page with, like, say it's a married couple or a friendship couple or a work colleague couple, and they have just been trying to make something work, maybe a project, maybe a business, and they're like, okay, we've had so many obstacles, so many setbacks, but do we give this one more try? Because we ironed out some of the kinks. What do we do now? Do we reinvest, or do we dump this and start fresh? Start a different business. It could be that as well. Money could be at stake, which is the reason I give this like a business context also. But ultimately, the big question is, how do they each see an idea of, we know it's time to move forward, but what do we do with that concept of moving forward? So let's go ahead. We're actually going to start out with the feminine's perspective here. And when I say feminine, we could just call this person character 1 as well. It doesn't have to be the female. It's just, we're going to go ahead and go that route. Okay, by the way, I selected the deck that is, for some reason, less glossy, and the deck that has the black rim around it. So I don't know if somebody looks really great in shades of like gold, black, and red, but in any case, it's just a side note. I will say black is a color of protection as well. So there could be like a thin layer of like, this could be the more cautious character, the one who like sits down and goes, I don't know, we might want to not be quite as action taking. We might want to, like, if it's about money, I want to preserve like a cushion, a nest egg. We don't want to go all in. Even if we do reinvest, we got to put up a protective layer. So that's just an extra side note. However, our character number one, her position on all of this appears to be really bold. The sun. This is Invictus Soul. This is the victorious sun. This is hell yeah. This can work. Interestingly enough, this character is more of a warrior. That Invictus Soul was like the brotherhood of the Roman warriors at one point in time. Hi, Patricia. Hi, Denisa. Thanks for being here. The brotherhood of warriors back in Roman times. So I'm just going to, but there's great happiness here. There's a real plan and there's an excitement. So she's in a great mood about this topic, a wonderful mood. Two of Swords, but the acknowledgement is, I'm so glad it's time for us to sit down and make a plan. She's somebody who likes the chess game. She's somebody who's like, anything could happen. This could, it's fun to sit down at the table and start spitballing ideas. I'm excited to sit down and have a conversation. Say this is a storyline where a couple has healed separately, independently. They're now coming back together to decide we need to see each other again. Nobody knows what's going to happen. She's like, I'm thrilled to see them again. And I'm thrilled to sit down and start talking about stuff. The Two of Swords can be a card of blocking, but this is more a card of let's look at what was blocked and let's figure a way through it. Let's make good decisions. It's not like, yay, we're definitely going to get back together, but more like, I'm so glad we can finally sit down and maybe have some like really mature conversation. You notice the blocking is behind this character. What's in front is the like, wow, I can make a move, you can make a move. We can talk, we can communicate, we can hear each other, we can be active listeners. That's what's exciting on her side right now. Let's go a little further for her. Eight of Pentacles. Ganesh is remover of obstacles. There's a spiritual component to this for her. And there's this idea of when we can mature, a lot of things are possible. Difficult situations push us sometimes, propel us through, I'll say, no, I won't say it that way, through a rebirth process, okay, that helps us gain more wisdom. It's a work in progress, and there's nothing wrong with that. Looking at where blockages have been, getting down to the bottom of it, hammering it out and moving forward, that's exciting to her. Prince of Pentacles, King of Pentacles. I would say she has a lot of belief that things can actually slowly, patiently, step by step improve into something tremendously satisfying, tremendously stable. She's got this opinion, and she may actually have a really great opinion of them as well. If we're going to sit down, if we're going to be excited to sit down and talk to somebody, we must have a good opinion of them, right? Who gets thrilled to sit down and talk to someone if they're like, oh, please, that person, that we never have good conversations. We never are on the same page. So she has a lot of positive perspective, even though she's not in a rush, if that makes sense. This feels like pretty calm, pretty metered, but very positive. Okay, let's go over to character number 2, or the one that we'll call the masculine. Now they have gold around, exclusively gold around the borders of this deck. And so this could be someone who is, tends to be a little bit more like forward, a little bit more flashy, a little bit more maybe risk taker. Doesn't have to be. It's just a side note. So let's ask, what is the character number 2's perspective? She's got a sideways card. We have a 3 of Wands sideways. There's a question mark for them about like, okay, what is the future going to look like? Or does the future start now? Is, what can be accomplished immediately upon having conversation? How fast, how slow should things go? 3 of Wands is always about the plans for the future for me. Usually the immediate next 3 months, but this character doesn't really want to wait 3 months to really make choices about what's happening. I almost think that for them, it's like the limbo could be hard, like delaying things, not really having any kind of plan at all could actually be tough for this character. Y'all gifted. Well, they seem to be, freaking crazy about her. The all gifted is Pandora. Pandora is, according to Greek mythology, Pandora was the first woman ever created. So Zeus had Hephaestus, the Olympian god that was like the greatest blacksmith of all time. He had Hephaestus create her out of clay. And so she was the first mortal woman ever created. But then all the Olympian gods gifted her with some of their own gifts. So she, although she was mortal, she had the attributes of, like the beauty and the intellect and the grace and sophistication of the Olympian gods. So then she goes down to earth to get married to a mortal, and Zeus gifts her this jar that she takes with her as a wedding gift. She gets down to earth, unbeknownst to her. She doesn't realize what it contains. She opens it up, and out onto earth spills every negative thing. So Pandora opens the box, basically. And what had happened is Zeus was angry at Prometheus for having given mankind fire, because he said, well, I don't want mankind to have fire. Then they're going to become more like gods, and mankind should be beneath us. But Prometheus didn't agree, so he gave mankind fire, and that allowed mankind to start really, changing life and, kind of advancing. So he wanted to put mankind behind by kind of like putting malware onto Earth, right? So when she opens up this Pandora's box, all the negative things in the hearts of mankind, fear, jealousy, hatred, rage, all those things, that's what was in Pandora's box. And once it's opened and spilled out, you can't get it back. I explain all that only to say, as we can see, this could be perfect, beautiful. Everything is like before we open up Pandora's box, this would be after. They know that there's a potential. Our second character, or our masculine character, thinks she is the most like perfectly made, perfect mate for them. The idea of waiting and not knowing what's going to happen, I really think that they know the gem that they have in her. But I will just mention that whole story about Pandora only to say, as with any great relationship, the ability to crush it and have it go the opposite way. Great love can also become great pain if we don't handle it with care. We have Three of Cups, and they want to reconcile. They want happier times. They want love. They want masks off. We have the Three of Swords. There was hurt. They may actually feel wounded. Their perspective could be that there's been misunderstandings, that there have been there's this element of they could have had a grave misunderstanding, and there could be something like this love is really innocent, and yet it got bled on, you notice, and it's been out in this ice cold tundra. It's like, who wants to leave a good thing out here in the ice cold, especially if there's been kind of like unnecessary extra hurt and pain. This almost makes me think that in their perspective, there could have been problems that arose from external forces. Where did those three swords come from? Why are they, sullying the beauty of these roses? And why did everything go cold? This almost looks like, this doesn't to me say that, oh, I hurt her, I need to fix it. It could talk about they've been pretty wounded, but again, I don't even think that they're blaming her for it, because those swords are hovering above. There's an interesting element to this. We got a Seven of Wands. This is a character who they do feel an urge to fight for this, but to also protect this. I'm wondering if something sabotaged this relationship at one point in time, because here they are willing to call in the power of the cosmos to defend this connection, is what it looks like to me here. It's like I've got that story, or not story, the song, Seven Nation Army. I'm gonna fight them all. Seven Nation Army couldn't hold me back. Is it White? I can't even think right now. I can hear the song pumping in my head. We got the Two of Wands, got the Nine of Cups, and we got the King of Swords. I just see them saying they want to fight for this. They want to fight for it for themselves. They want to fight for it to be with her. They want to fight to it's kind of like they want to promise that they're going to really make her happy also. They are coming across like they too would like to be happy, but they want to be seen strong. They want to be seen as a hero. They want to be seen as a protector. We do have two wolves, and wolves, the alpha pair mates for life. There is this, I don't even think of this Two of Wands like which direction are we going to go, but rather, you notice how we have like the whole string of camels walking across the Sahara here. It's like they too know that this could be a bit of a journey for the two of them to really get life to work out really well for the two of them. But it's a journey that I think they really want to take. It's interesting how they want to see themselves as a king of swords, or they want her to see them as a king of swords. She sees him as a king of pentacles. Either way, we have, I mean, they see her as, Pandora, the all gifted, without Pandora's box being opened. They see her as their wish. She sees them as the person she wants to build with. The way it looks to me is both of these characters are very much on the same page. Here's the kicker. I'm just going to ask this. Do they know that? Because sometimes the flutter inside of our heart is not necessarily what we show to each other if we are still guarded, still afraid. What if they don't feel the way I feel? So thank you, Patricia. You're so awesome. Patricia, you're great. Thank you for that. White stripes. We got Six of Cups. We got Emperor. I was asking, do they know what the other one is feeling? Because they're Six of Cups, they're soulmates, yes. But one is a little bit more, okay, how do I explain this? One of the two of them is an older soul than the other. Ironically, the one that is not the older soul is, and I'm going to go ahead and say that this is because it's classical male archetype, and because I already made the suggestion that our masculine character was the one with the gold all the way around it. This is somebody going to be action taking. I think our masculine is really in the place where they really want to take charge of this connection. We also see them wanting to fight and protect this. I think they're going to be very open about what they want. I think both characters are on the same page, but I think the feminine in this case may actually be the older soul, the wiser one, the one who puts up a little bit of a protective barrier, because what does wisdom teach us? Caution. When we're super young, we don't like put up boundaries for anything. We just go all in. When we learn from maybe repetitious lessons, past life lessons, we learn, ooh, sometimes there can be a little danger. Don't just cross any river. You got to remember, what territory are you in? Are you in a climate where there could be crocodiles in the river? I don't just leap into water and assume it's safe, because wisdom has taught me, ease in a little slower. She's excited. Remember, she's excited over the opportunity to build and grow. She's excited over the opportunity to remove obstacles. She's excited over the opportunity of what could come to pass if there was steady, continued growth. They're excited about, I don't really want to wait so long, because she's it. I want this now. Let's just fight to protect this connection. The things that were wrong came from an external source. I'm going to fight that external source day and night. I'm going to make sure that this works. I'm all in. Definitely Emperor mode. I'm going to fight to protect my kingdom. She's over here saying, I want this with you. We got a lot we can learn together. And sometimes maybe I can show you a thing or two. This is about transmutation. She's thinking about changing things. They're thinking about protecting it, grabbing a hold of it. So they definitely come in with different perspectives. But I would say this could be incredibly complementary, but there could also be big snags to watch out for. An emperor may not. Look, a good emperor is going to say, I want my royal vizier to give me great advice. I want someone to, weigh in on decisions. Otherwise, they're just a flat out dictator. I want to make sure that the choices we make, it's a we. But an emperor has to feel respected too. When they're dealing with someone who might be an older soul than them, that could be touchy territory once in a while. If she's going to try to guide them, help them transmute things, and even here, we see the idea that she may look at them as someone who's like still growing. That is going to be turf that has to be navigated with the utmost sensitivity. This is a powerful person. This is a great person. So is this. How do you handle this with grace so you don't insult the other person? Be like, well, you're my kid, so I have to teach you how to do it. Don't disrespect an emperor. Meanwhile, emperor, don't be a freaking dictator and think that your partner doesn't have every bit as much wisdom and wisdom on different topics. You should want your partner to be that other half. But this looks beautiful, but I could see the pitfalls in this. This is what they're going to have to navigate, and we see hints of that in here already. They want to protect. They think she's their person. They don't really want to wait. They want to be seen as somebody who makes great decisions. That could be their point of pride. She's saying there's somebody who could really, they're growing a lot, and eventually they could become that king of pentacles. They probably need to figure out how to get on the same page with who each one of them thinks the other one is. Because these are great kings, but they're not the same kind of king. And if she thinks they're going to be this, and they want to be seen as this, they want to probably be respected for their intellect, their great decision making. She's saying, I want to see them become this wonderful, like, stable person. We're kind of, in a lot of ways, they want the exact same thing, but there is a little bit of discord that I see here. I'm sorry I can't just make this be a story where it's like, oh, it's so happy, it's so perfect, it's all going to work. I could see this falling apart and being an absolute nightmare where they could disrespect each other tremendously without ever meaning to, unless they can understand each other, unless they can reassure one another that I'm not telling you you're not smart enough. I'm not telling you I don't respect your opinion. I feel like I'm doing puppet theater again, but they're going to have to. I mean, this could be so beautiful. This could be so amazing. But we do see leadership versus cooperation, and they're going to have to merge those two ideas together. And that's not even true, because this cooperation, yes, but one person clearly thinks that they're the leader. If each one of them thinks that they're kind of the ones in charge of the other, it's not going to fly. They're going to butt heads instead of build together. Universe, what is the best advice for these characters to be able to really build together? Oh, sorry. Okay. We have, I have to give her a little tube top. We have Strength card sideways, and we have the Six of Sacred Circles. That's the Six of Pentacles again. If they both have a fear of what if they both actually deep down worry that they have to bring so much to the table for the other person to see them as valuable. Now, this could also be that maybe each one of them has had to become very brave in their lifetime. What do you do when you have two people who've taken charge of things in life, and even if they are scared, they try to push through, and they have to be the leader because, there's a lot of situations in life that make us feel like we're responsible. They say being born in a certain, order in the family as a kid, if you're the eldest, you might take on a caretaking role sometimes, like, let's just say that they both experienced something in their lives that made them say, I have to be a person who makes decisions. And maybe they're scared of figuring out what would that look like to let someone else hold half of the reins of these horses that are pulling the chariot forward. I'm kind of scared about that. I kind of almost feel like, as much as both of these characters say, no, but I want to be in a Six of Cups relationship, why do we keep seeing the frozen tundra and only one set of footprints? I think both are deep down a little bit scared of allowing someone to co-author the book of their life, because the amount of power that person would then have. What if you get bored with me? What if you leave me? What if you betray me? What if you hurt me? Now I got nothing. I was good running my own life, being the person who ultimately always holds all the power. But I'm going to have to surrender part of it to you to co create. It looks like they keep saying, but I do want to co create. Then why do I only see one set of footprints? To me, this looks like deep down they're kind of both scared to like really, really give in, to really, really give up some of their power to the other person. And how do I say this? It's not give up their power, it's to genuinely make decisions together. They each are still coming into this acting like, yeah, but I'm the one who will really be making the decisions. That's not going to work for these two powerful people. And on the flip side of it, probably these two people who want so badly to be together, if they keep insisting that they have to always secretly be the person in charge, they're going to match with someone who wants to let them be in charge. And then someday they'll probably get pissed that they seem to be like in a relationship where they're the parent and the person is their kid, but they're almost both still setting it up that way again and again because of this fear, this secret fear. That's the biggest message that I see in all of this. And if that's the message from the universe, it's like that might be the fear that has to be faced. Can I really let someone drive the chariot sitting next to me and we really make decisions together and we really co-author the book of life? Ooh, that's scary. That's asking a lot. It's asking a lot. Especially when we got two brave, beautiful, strong people that have the best of intentions, but that's where their snags are going to come from in this storyline. Look, I'm not saying this is the way it goes or anything like that. These are all fictional stories, but I think that's a really fascinating thing to look at, and I think that's a really thought-provoking snag that two powerful people could bump into, that really want to be together. They really want that. And I think they'd be great for each other as long as they can get to that really deep vulnerability. Not easy for powerful, courageous people to get to vulnerability. When you're a warrior, how do you say, okay, I don't have to be forever a warrior. I can actually sometimes just lay my head in someone else's lap and trust that they'll protect me. That's not how I was raised to fight. I was raised to defend even myself. Like that's what even for the feminine, we started out with Invictus Soul, that the Roman warrior brotherhood. So she's got some kind of fighter spirit also. It's tough for two warriors, I think, to learn how to have each other's back in a relationship. They're better on the battlefield than probably in romance. Anyway, that's what I got out of this. You guys, thanks so much for hanging out. Lots of love to everybody out there. I appreciate you guys. If you do enjoy my channel, my fictional storytelling approach, please don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe. I am honored to have you guys here. This is where I do a collective read every day, a love tarot story every day, and then every Tuesday, and I'm starting to add in Saturday, I do my Cancerian videos. All other videos for all other zodiacs are on my main channel, Kate's Regretless Life, and there's a free link in the description box where you can pop over there if you're looking for the other zodiacs. Bye, guys. Thanks so much for hanging out. Bye.